everybody, my name's Andrea and I've got a helper with me today. This is Lauren and we are going to show you how to do some felted artwork. So similar idea to the bookmarks that we showed you last week. You'll need the same bits of materials and equipment. We need our 2 sheets of bubble wrap. You can reuse those if you had them used from last week. We need a rolling pin, or this is a monoprint roller, that will work as well. And you also need some soapy water, some washing up liquid mixed with water, and as long as it's all frothy, when you shake it like that, that will work. So you can keep it in the bottle like that, or you can put it into a sprayer, so you can. So what we're making, we're going to show you how to make this felted rainbow. So it's not very big. We're going to just do it A5 size, which if you get an A4 sheet of paper, fold in half, just this size here, okay? If you did buy more felt, if you have extra felt, you can do your piece bigger. And you're very welcome to do another picture. You can, if you don't want to do a rainbow, you can do other things. We have got some examples here of things we've done in the 𝐉𝐻𝐿𝐼 workshops before. We've got these wee sheep here, and last year for the summer scheme in the 𝐉𝐻𝐿𝐼, we've done some fish. So really, once you've done the felt making, the same process, and I'll be showing you how to put on lines and shapes, and that will hopefully give you a good base idea on how to do this again. So we have all our colours ready here. We've got white or blues for our background, and then we've got our rainbow colours as well. So the rainbow doesn't have to have the full 7 colours. If you only have the 5 colours, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be a realistic rainbow, okay? So once you have these wee pictures done, they're lovely in a frame, or what you could do is you could stick them onto the front of a photo album. You'd be able to glue gun these on, or a really strong glue, and make it into like a wee lockdown memory album, or you could even use it to cover a notebook as well. So you can glue round the sides, or you can cut out whenever, you can cut it into a nice rectangular shape whenever it's all done. So we'll take you through this now. Okay, so here we've got our sheet of paper there, our A5 sheet of paper. We're just going to put this under the bubble wrap. I've also put a towel down because whenever we go to roll this, all the suds come out. Our bubbles are facing up, so you'll feel all the bubbles here, so you will. And then we're going to start off with getting our background. We're going to take our merino wool and get the blue. So we've got 3 different blues here, just to show you the layering process. Usually we want to get about 3 layers of the wool, and remember, we're pulling it all out really fine like this. Okay, so cobweb like, and we're pulling it out, putting it on, covering your shape there, and we'll keep going until we don't see any of this white. So you always want to overlap the fibres. You see there, we'll be putting them down different directions. We just want them all to overlap and mix in with each other. So we've got kind of 1 layer. We can still see the white there, but by the time we've got our 3 layers done, we shouldn't see any of that white. Now it's really hard to keep like a tight edge. It will naturally spill over the edges there. Don't worry about that. That does just happen. Okay. You want a bit of this turquoise in the top, yeah. Okay. So if you've got a few different blues, you can certainly just mix them all up, or you maybe just have the one blue to work with, and that's all right too. And you can always have a wee bit of white mixed in with the blue, which will be a nice sky effect. So you can see there, we're like on our third layer, and we can hardly see the white paper there at all. Okay, now, so I'll just show everyone so see how, if I turn that way, see how thick that is. It's all very, very fluffy there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start to do our stripes on our rainbow there. So we'll start off with the red, yep, and we're looking to pull out a line, so a good wee trick for this is get a wee thin bit and kind of twist it round. Use your fingers to twist it round, okay, to pull that out. You can keep twisting that round. If it's not long enough, you can get another bit and twist that round to attach it on, so it'll be long enough for you. And then we'll position that down. So if you position that down, that's great. Now next colour, what are we going to go for? Yeah. So remember, pulling it out to get it finer, and then whenever it breaks up, that's okay. We're able to get it the same thickness and twist it round to make it longer, like that. Okay. Do you want to add another wee bit here? So see if you can get those two bits to attach, twisting that round. And then we'll position that down. Yep. So you do the green, I'll get the yellow done here. So we're just twisting these round. And remember that whenever we roll this, it's all going to shrink a bit, so kind of keep your rainbow in a wee bit from the edges and keep it all nice and tight together there. Need one for that, yeah. I'll do the next colour. So like I said as well, might just depend on what pack of merino wool you've ordered, you mightn't have all these colours. So you can just do whatever you wish with it. Let you put the blue in there, okay. I'm going to put a bit of pink in this one, this lovely pink. You put that one in as well. So whenever we've laid down shapes like this, we want to make sure that they don't fall off. So with our background colour, we'll just pull off a little bit of wool and we're trapping it down just as fine as you can, just so those shapes stay down in, okay? Because all these fibres at the base, they've all kind of been put across each other, so we know whenever they're rolled, they're all going to shrink together, whereas these here are sitting at the top layer, there's more chance of things falling off. So doing a wee layer like this just to trap some of them down, and that'll be enough on that. So if you do want to add in a wee shape, there's another wee trick I can show you. So we're going to put a sun in this one. So what we'll do is we can kind of twirl it round into a circular shape there for a wee sun. And if you want to have a really tight shape, what you can do is you can just wet it with the soap and water and squidge around the shape as well, like that. And we can use scissors as well to cut out certain shapes. So we can cut round. But again, because this is going the top layer, we'll have to do that like wee fine cobweb layer over the top. Right, do you want to position your wee sun on? Yeah. Now we'll just maybe move that in a wee bit. Remember, this is going to shrink down. Okay, and then we'll just do like a wee tiny bit of the blue just to make sure that sun traps in. Now, and just another wee bit. And then next we're going to put some white clouds at the bottom here. So we'll pull out some of our white wool, just fluff it up, and that'll be alright, just kind of positioned on like that. And there is our rainbow. Now you can take more time making sure everything's sitting as you want, but with the felt making process there is rolling involved, so everything does move about quite a bit. We'll move all this dry wool out of the way. So we'll have our towel down already. We are going to put on our soap and water now. And if you use the spray bottle too, the kids love spraying that on as well. You can't over wet it, so don't worry about, there is no rule as to too much water. It just means there's more spreads out. We have our other sheet of bubble wrap here. Bubbles facing down here. Yep, and press that down. Now, and now we're going to get a rolling pin and we're going to roll. Okay, so quite gently at first, because we want the wool all to knit together, and we kind of want to keep our rainbow shape. If you go in a bit too vigorously, sometimes everything moves quite a bit. I'll move this wee sheet of paper away. Right, you start rolling there. And see the way we've got suds coming out there? That's great, that's what we want to see. After a while of rolling, you might need to add in more soap and water. If you don't see any suds here, you need to have more water and soap in there, because it's the soap and the friction that's going to make this all shrink. So we're going to keep rolling, and we're going to change direction every so often. So we've been rolling this way. Want to roll it this way because it'll all start to gradually shrink down. Now the reason why I've done quite a small piece with these as well is because the bigger the piece is, the more rolling's involved, and usually the arms get very tired doing this. But the great thing about this is you can stop, let it dry, and then even the next day you can go back and re-roll it. Otherwise it'll just all go back to the fluffy wool whenever it is rolled and shrunk. You have a pretty solid fabric there to work with. So good vigorous rolling like this after it's kind of the shape's set there, and keep rolling like this. And I would be saying probably at least a good 15-20 minutes of solid rolling. So I would be inclined to do it and then stop and take a break and then go back to it. So we'll show you this whenever we have it all rolled and dried. So this is our felted rainbow that we did earlier. It was left to dry just on the radiator. You're able to rinse it out as well, just by folding it up like that, hold it under the tap to rinse out the suds, then leave it in the radiator to dry, and it'll just dry naturally. You can also iron this on a wool setting as well. Now, whenever you go to present this in either your frame or if you're sticking it on your photo album, you can see Lauren's here with a few wee holes here, and that does happen very, very easily. It's sometimes where there hasn't been enough wool put on during the felt making. So what you can do is you can put a sheet of paper underneath to disguise it, and it really isn't very obvious at all. And you can cut the edges, or you can leave the edges frayed, and you're also able to stitch into this if you wish as well. So thanks very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed doing it, and tune in next week. We'll be showing you how to do these little felted stones.